Welcome to the story behind the story, where the narratives that shape us are stripped bare, revealing the fascinating facts, surprising secrets, and untold truths that lie beneath the surface. My name is Brian Smith. This is the podcast where the familiar becomes fascinating. Each episode, I dive into the untold tales, surprising facts, and hidden histories that shape the stories we think we know. From books to movies, songs to sports, and legends to everyday life, I'll explore the unexpected twists and turns that make every story worth telling. Join me as we uncover together the secrets, inspirations, and mysteries that lie beneath the surface. Let's go behind the story and discover something special. Imagine surviving a plane crash in the Peruvian jungle as a 17-year-old, with no signs of civilization in sight. On today's podcast, we are going to meet Juliane Koepcke, the girl who fell from the sky and achieved a miracle in the jungle. Juliane defied incredible odds and lived to tell the tale. Today, we explore her harrowing story of survival, resilience, and the unbreakable human spirit. On December 24th, 1971, 17-year-old Juliane Koepcke and her mother Maria boarded Flight 508, headed to Peru to spend Christmas with Juliane's father. The flight was supposed to be a routine one, but it would become a nightmare that would change Juliane's life forever. As the plane flew over the dense Peruvian jungle, it suddenly disintegrated in midair, likely due to a lightning strike. Juliane was the only survivor of the crash, which killed her mother and 91 other passengers. Miraculously, Juliane fell 2 miles through the jungle canopy, still strapped to her seat, and survived the impact. Injured and disoriented, she spent 11 days in the jungle, fending for herself and searching for help. With no food, no shelter, and no sign of civilization, Juliane's determination and resourcefulness kept her alive. Local loggers eventually stumbled upon Juliane, and she was rescued, reunited with her father, and began the long process of healing and recovery. Juliane's story is a testament to the human spirit's capacity for survival, resilience, and hope in the face of unimaginable adversity. In this podcast of The Girl Who Fell from the Sky, I'll explore Juliane's remarkable story, the aftermath of the crash, and how this traumatic event shaped her life. Juliane Koepcke was born in Lima, Peru on October 10, 1954, the only child of German zoologists Maria and Hans Wilhelm Koepcke. Her parents were working at Lima's Museum of Natural History when she was born. At age 14, she left Lima with her parents to establish the Panguana Research Station in the Amazon rainforest, where she learned survival skills. educational authorities disapproved, and she was returned to the Lima school to take her exams, graduating on December 23, 1971. On December 24, 1971, just one day after she graduated, Koepcke flew on Lanza Flight 508. Her mother, Maria, had wanted Juliane to return back with her family on December 19th or 20th, but Koepcke wanted to attend her graduation ceremony in Lima on December 23rd. Her mother, Maria, agreed that they would stay for her graduation and instead scheduled a flight for Christmas Eve. All flights were fully booked except for one with Lanza. Koepcke's father urged his wife to avoid flying with the airline due to its poor reputation. Nevertheless, the flight was booked. The plane was struck by lightning mid-flight and began to disintegrate before plummeting to the ground. Koepcke found herself falling, still strapped to her row of seats, 10,000 feet into the Amazon rainforest. Juliane survived the fall, but suffered injuries such as a broken collarbone, a deep cut on her arm, an eye injury, and a concussion. She spent 11 days in the rainforest, most of which were spent making her way through water by following a creek to a river. While in the jungle, she dealt with severe insect bites, including an infestation of botfly larvae on her injured arm. After 9 days, she was able to find an encampment that had been set up by local lumberjacks. A few hours later, the returning lumberjacks found her, poured gasoline on her wound, and used a canoe to transport her for the next 11 hours to a more inhabited area. From there, she was soon airlifted to a hospital. Juliane's unlikely survival has been the subject of much speculation. Experts have said that she survived the fall because she was harnessed into her seat, which was a window seat attached to the 2 seats to her left as part of a row of 3. That was thought to have functioned as a parachute or helicopter which slowed her fall. The impact may also have been lessened by the updraft from a thunderstorm Koepcke fell through, as well as the thick foliage at her landing site. The story behind the story is that as many as 14 other passengers, including her mother, were later discovered to have survived the initial crash, but died waiting for rescuers. After recovering from her injuries, Juliane assisted search parties in locating the crash site and recovering the bodies of victims. Her mother's body was discovered on January 12, 1972. Juliane said later, "I had nightmares for a long time, for years, and of course the grief about my mother's death and that of the other people came back again and again. The thought was, why was I the only survivor? It still haunts me. It always will." Koepcke returned to her parents' native Germany, where she fully recovered from her physical injuries. Like her parents, she studied biology and graduated in 1980. She received a doctorate from the University of Munich and returned to Peru to conduct research, specializing in bats. She published her thesis, Ecological Study of a Bat Colony in the Tropical Rainforests of Peru, in 1987. In 1989, Koepcke married Erich Diller, a German entomologist. In 2000, following the death of her father, she took over his place as the director of the institute. She currently serves as a librarian at the Bavarian State Collection of Zoology in Munich. Juliane's survival has been the subject of numerous books and films, including a low-budget movie by filmmaker Giuseppe Scotese, which was released in English as Miracles Still Happen, sometimes called The Story of Juliane Koepcke. She was portrayed by English actress Susan Penhaligon in the film. Koepcke's story was more faithfully told by Koepcke herself in German filmmaker Werner Herzog's documentary Wings of Hope in 1998. Herzog was interested in telling her story because of a personal connection. The story behind the story of Juliane Koepcke, the girl who fell from the sky, is that Herzog was scheduled to be on the same flight while scouting locations for one of his films. But a last-minute change of plans spared him from the crash. He had planned to make the film ever since narrowly missing the flight, but was unable to contact Koepcke for decades since she avoided the media. He finally located her after contacting the priest who performed her mother's funeral. Koepcke accompanied him on a visit to the crash site, which Juliane described as a kind of therapy for her. Juliane Koepcke's story is one of unimaginable trauma, survival, and resilience. After her rescue, she struggled to come to terms with the loss of her mother and the other passengers. Yet she found a way to heal and rebuild her life. Juliane's experience in the jungle had a profound impact on her, shaping her perspective on life and instilling in her a deep appreciation for the beauty and fragility of human existence. Today, Juliane is a renowned biologist, dedicating her life to studying the very jungle that once threatened to consume her. Her story serves as a powerful reminder that even in the darkest moments, hope and determination can lead to survival and redemption. As we reflect on Juliane's journey, we are reminded that our stories, though unique, are intertwined with the past. The memories, the struggles, and the triumphs. They all echo through time, waiting to be heard. And that's the story behind the story of Juliane Koepcke, the girl who fell from the sky. I hope you found it as fascinating as I did. My name is Brian Smith, and we are history. Thank you for listening.